What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here doing the sign of the cross because I'm here with.
Gersh 1.
Nah, they're going to do something satanic because we got to balance each other out. Yin and yang.
Oh, that's true. What would be something satanic? Murder the babies, I know.
You got to like lather them up, butter them up, and then murder them.
Just like I do with the Texas Roadhouse biscuits.
Oh.
Are they biscuits or buns?
I think they're for the greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first. If you enjoy our content and you want to support the channel, you can hit us up with the super thanks. If you do, ask us a question and we will answer it in the next episode and make it a thumbnail question so that you will forever be a leader of the greater WAAAGHs. And that is what Neo Acid Creep has done. He asks, he has two questions. First one is, which Primarch would win in a steel cage match? No holds barred, no butcher's nails, no weapons, no perpetuals, steel chairs and tables are allowed, 1v1 match. So that's interesting because you say 1v1 match.
Yeah, at first I thought it was going to be like a Royal Rumble type thing.
Which would make the most sense because, like, if you think about it, it's 1 versus 1. Is there a bracket?
Maybe.
And is there rest in between?
Yeah, and it depends on what the matchups are too.
Yeah. Because I feel like if it's some like Dragon Ball Z stuff where like you have the typical bracket, it can be anybody.
Honestly, yeah. I think the best hand-to-hand fighter, Sanguinius.
You think so?
I think so.
I would argue that Vulcan would.
See, I thought Vulcan, but the thing that makes Vulcan so tough is his perpetuality.
Well, he's big too. He's the biggest Primarch.
He is big. He is pretty strong, but strength means nothing if you don't have the technique and the, I guess, overall martial prowess to like come out on top. Let's think of it this way: Angron has been blessed by Khorne, and when Angron was fighting against Sanguinius, Khorne was like, "Oh, I picked the wrong Primarch. I should have gotten Sanguinius on my side."
Yeah.
So if the god of blood, butchery, war is saying he wanted Sanguinius over Angron, I think Sanguinius takes the cake.
Do you also think that Vulcan would be too nice? Like he's held back? Because you know how like sometimes people say like, oh, you have like ape strength because like you don't have like a mental block to tell you to stop.
Yeah, like how you could bite through like your finger and stuff like that.
But you don't, right?
Because of the mind.
Yeah. So you think Vulcan is the same way where he would be like, I don't want to punch my brother that hard.
But, I mean, is this to the death or is this just like a...
Oh, it's like pinning.
Yeah, steel cage match. I mean, I feel like you don't have to hold back. They're Primarchs. They can take it.
No, but I think, do you feel that Vulcan would have a mental thing? Like, no?
No, I think he'd still...
They're all warriors. They can beat him. And
he
can fly. Sanguinius
can fly, yeah.
So I think that's a huge advantage.
The other thing, too, is he didn't mention anything about psychic powers.
That's true.
Magnus can just... psychic up the ring or whatever.
He has the ability to like also take the form of anything he wants because he's not even supposed to be red.
Right.
He chooses to be red.
Yeah, he's got one eye just because it's cool.
Yeah, not because it was removed or anything.
Magically.
Vulcan is black though, or at least he's one of the darkest creatures.
Creatures? Primarchs are considered creatures?
Oh yeah, they're not human.
True, they're demigods.
They're demigods.
But then when I think about it, Corvus Corax can literally mask his presence.
That's true. Well, but so can the lion. The lion can shadow walk.
But I mean, that's just teleportation, though. Like, literally, like, Corvus Corax could just come in, Rey Mysterio style. And
that's true. And he's tiny, too. Or at least it seems that way.
They're all tiny, but, like, they're all still Primarch size.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said in the beginning, like, anybody could really win.
Yeah.
You can make an argument for anybody except for Lorgar. Lorgar would lose.
Lorgar's going to be the one winning. He'll just be in the middle, like, hunched over, and everybody's fighting around him.
If it was a Royal Rumble, yes.
Yeah, but it's 1v1.
1v1. I feel like...
No, go ahead.
I feel like Lorgar, his first match, he's going to lose. I think another person that's would probably be, like... They would do well, but they wouldn't make it is Leman Russ.
Yeah.
Too much rage.
Yeah. I still put my money on Sanguinius.
Yeah. Comment down below. Let us know who you would put your money on for a match. The second question is, who would win in a steel cage match? No holds bar, no butcher's nails, no weapons, no perpetuals, steel chair tables are allowed. 1v1 match between me and the big one.
Oh, that's quite a matchup there. Hopefully I'm front row seat to watch that because the big one, from what he's been saying, he's like dodging bullets and like he has a strong mental fortitude because like his mom's really big and stuff like that, and he's taking care of her. So like
he's from the hood.
Yeah, he has a lot going for him. So I don't know any accolades for Neo Acid Creep. Maybe you can let us know in other comments, like what prowess do you think you have that'll put you on top?
Also, if you're gonna go up against a guy named the Big One, I think you're done. I think that's like, you know, in Hey Arnold, where it's like, oh, I'm crazy, so don't fight me. I think the Big One is the same way. Like, he's crazy, don't fight him.
Yeah, like your name's Acid Creep, like you're not the bigger one. So
yeah, it just makes me like think, oh, do you shower?
Yeah, like, are you a creep? Are you
on acid right now?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, are you on a trip?
The next one comes from the Big One. He asks, what if the two lost Primarchs were trans? Then that would be the best of both worlds. They could beat Xenos like a man and then beat them like a woman. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Sure, why not?
I'm still amazed by how, like, you guys react to women Primarchs.
Yeah.
Or like women women Space Marines and stuff like that.
Women anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bizarre to put a video up about female Space Marines or female Primarchs and the comments go crazy.
And it's interesting because like, oh, the video went up 2 minutes ago. We haven't even given our thoughts, and you guys are just
the comments.
The comments are vicious.
Who hurt you?
Yeah.
Do you guys have a mother wound that you need to heal? Because 99% of you guys are males, and that 1% is probably lying.
Yeah. Thanks, YouTube Analytics.
Yeah. Next question.
This one's an actual question from 40K that makes me think about it a lot at night. Dragon Loit says, if a chapter of Blank Space Marines could be possible, should it?
There was, but it got retconned. So
The Exorcists.
The Exorcists. They were supposedly all blanks, and it would be super awesome if they still existed, because blanks are really powerful. That's what the Sisters of Silence are. So to have like Space Marine equivalents would be like, whoa.
Right, but
OP.
no, they were confirmed, or at least retconned, to be just successors of the Imperial Fists.
Of all people.
Yeah, and they got nothing cool about them anymore. They're just another chapter with a badass name.
Yeah, thanks, GW. You always make things better.
Yeah, but to put it simply, if you don't know how powerful a blank is, like, just the presence of a blank is enough to just make people feel uneasy around you. The stronger a blank you are, the more you can interact with emotions, and technically what it means is it interacts with souls and soulless beings, because blanks don't have a soul. So it could create paranoia, hysteria, anger, to the point where, like, if a blank is born, sometimes as soon as they're born, like, the doctor, whoever's there, kills the child.
Even the mother.
Even the mother, yeah, because that's how much of an effect the soulless being has.
So it's basically being a ginger.
Exactly, yeah. They're soulless, everybody hates them, and when it comes to fighting against chaos, they are essentially a bubble of anti-chaos.
Yep.
To the point where either demons cannot interact with them, or you could literally just banish a demon by being in their presence.
Yeah. One of my favorite books is Xenos with the Eisenhorn series. And in that book, he gets an inquisitorial acolyte that is a blank. And the description of what it's like to be around this person is super, super good. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out, Xenos.
Yeah, just blanks in general, I think, are one of my favorite ideas that 40K has. Because you see how awesome it is to, like, shoot lightning and be a psyker and, like, pop brains and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, here's the opposite.
Someone who's going to make you want to throw up. Next question comes from Aaron Herwig 2476. Yeah. If the Dawn of War games... In the Dawn of War games, they say that Blood Ravens have an uncommon number of Psychers. Could they be loyalist factions of the Thousand Suns? Then the unknown Primarch would be Magnus. Yeah.
I think that was confirmed, right?
Yep. Yeah. That's their whole thing. What's cool is that during the Horus Heresy, when Magnus turned to Tzeentch, because, what's it called? The destruction of...
Prospero, the burning of Prospero.
Burning of Prospero. There were crusading legions, because they weren't chapters back then, but they were crusading legions of the Thousand Sons that didn't even find out that Magnus betrayed the Imperium. And from those crusading legions is where we get the Blood Ravens.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, like, throughout the lore, well, I guess this is 10,000 years later, where Ahriman is doing the flesh change spell. You would think even if they're successor chapters, the flesh
would affect them. Yeah, but no, plot armor.
Yeah.
Also, was it every single Thousand Suns Marine that was in the universe, or was it just the one that were
on the planet of sorcerers and stuff like that? Yeah, it's kind of interesting because it also affected those who were in the warp at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and since it was kind of like a spell that was supposed to transcend time and space, like it is a really powerful spell when you look into the effects of it, like go into the details, and it's like, how is this even possible? But yeah, so there are some exceptions to it, but it's the warp. It's supposed to be crazy, chaotic, so it doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah. Next question.
So this next one is by Banished Beast 9. So I think that dudes have Space Marines, chicks have Adeptus Sororitas. Both are equally badass as the other. This should not change in my opinion. I don't want female Astartes any more than I want male Sisters of Battle. I do enjoy each of them as they are, alone.
That's true, but that doesn't mean you can't have like a little bit of both, right?
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to Sisters of Battle, you can't have male Sisters of Battle because of the treaty during the whole Reign of Blood and stuff, where WAAAGH Vandire essentially took the Sisters as his own personal army and had the church, the ecclesiarchy, have a standing army. To make sure that this never happens again, there's a treaty that was put forth that said the church cannot have men at arms. And that was it. And keyword is men at arms. So they circumvent this by having women at arms, and that's how the Sisters of Battle came to be.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. Like, I think it would be really cool to have men at arms, somebody like basically betraying the treaty or like denying the treaty, and then we do have really cool looking like sister-esque men fighting.
Right.
And what I mean by that is like. Connected to the church. So like what would it be, like, I guess, militia?
Yeah, it could be like the radical perspective, because that's the thing about 40K is where you have this sandbox universe where you could make things that go against the lore and have it explained to fit. Obviously, the church can't do this, but say there's somebody else, like another WAAAGH Vandire that wants to come into power, and he is making a militia around the church. They're not Sisters of Battle, technically, but they play like Sisters of Battle.
Yeah. What I'm saying, though, is it would be cool to have both. Like, I don't know why we can't have female Space Marines and we can't have male Sisters of Battle.
Yeah, I guess because the thing is, like, the lore was established where gene seed only works on the male genome and stuff like that. But, I mean, it was also said that Space Marine gene seed is perfection and it can't be improved upon. And look what Belisarius Cawl did.
He improved on it,
and that's why we have Primaris Marines. So I think, all in all, the lore of GW is flexible because it's a grimdark universe where there's supposed to be no hope and everything is supposed to be kind of set in stone, and they don't like changing that because that changes the status quo of the Imperium. So in order to keep power, it's best to keep it stagnant. But we see what happens when stagnation happens, and that is death and decay of the Imperium. And that's kind of what GW knows, so they are kind of playing around with that to make 40K kind of a mirror of what is happening in present times.
Yeah.
That's it.
And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening and hanging out with us, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, as always, it's been the Sound Alchemist here with
Gershwan.
And we are out of here.
Oh, I used to put my freedom first.